Good morning.
ප්‍රියන්ත මහත්තයා ඉන්නවද?
බැංකු ගිහින් මැඩම්.
සම්පත් ඔන්ලයින් බැංකින් පහසුයි ලේසි කාලය ඉතුරුයි. සම්පත් බැංකුව හෙට දින එළිය කරයි.
Good evening to all our viewers. Sunday the 5th of July and welcome to Newsfirst Weekend. I'm Arunda Nayaka. Let's start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
ජාතික හෙළුරුමය parts ways with the United People's Freedom Alliance.
කිසිම කෙනෙක් වික්ෂිප්ත විය යුතු නැහැ. කිසිම කෙනෙක් ලැජ්ජාවටපත් විය යුතු නැහැ.
United National Party comments on bringing back Mahinda Rajapaksa into the political fray.
Mahinda මහත්තයා අද expire බඩුවක්. බුරියානියක් වුණත් යෝගර්ටයක් වුණත් expire වුණත් කන්නේ නැහනේ. කෑවොත් බඩ යනවා.
A former minister accused of not paying for the construction of a villa. Pre-election violence in Polgavilla. 2 injured. News First, you report Eagle Awards held in the southern province.
And now the stories in detail. At a media briefing held in Colombo today, the Jatika Helurumi announced its decision to part ways with the United People's Freedom Alliance.
මධ්‍යමකාරක සභාව තීරණය කළා.
A central committee has decided to leave the United People's Freedom Alliance and to support the formation of a new political force that will establish good governance, democracy and civilized politics and build the future of the country meaningfully. We invite all people in this country who have self-respect, who are not suffering from a love of power and who are not hoping for positions as MPs and ministers and only hope to rebuild the country to join with us. Let us fulfill the hopes of the people at the next election with a new political front. There is no reason for any person to be disheartened, ashamed or fearful. We are with you. For now, we have decided to leave the UPFA. Instead of wasting time criticizing various people, let us get on the stage and change this.
Journalists raised questions from the JHU regarding former President Mahinda Rajapaksa receiving a nomination from the UPFA for the general election.
Mahinda Rajapaksa මැතිතුමාට නාම
Granting a nomination for Mahinda Rajapaksa was a decision of the SLFP. It is now up to the people to decide on this.
ජනතාවට බාරයි.
Speaking at a media briefing today, General Secretary of the JVP, Tilvin Silva, expressed his views on the country's current political situation.
බලයට මේතරම් කෑදර පුද්ගලයෙක්
Nowhere in the political history of our country has there been a person or a family who has been this greedy for power. This is a world record. Mahinda Rajapaksa and the Rajapaksa family has proved that they are the world's most power-hungry people. The law was used at their own will and public money was used for their own expenses. No one in the country has ever done this. He lived at both Temple Trees and the President's Palace. So because he has tasted so much state power and benefited its comforts, he has become addicted to that taste and is now greedy for it. To get away with the allegations that have been leveled against him and his family, he is in dire need of this power. To do this, there are a bunch of rogues coming forward for him. Therefore, we think that they have come forward with the United People's Freedom Alliance's defeat imprinted on their foreheads. As a result of the decision they have taken in this election, they have proved that the UPFA has collapsed to a level where they cannot even appoint a leader without the old Mahinda Rajapaksa or any one of his family members.
Minister S.P. Navinna, who left the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, took part in a media briefing convened by the United National Party this morning. S.P. Navinna was welcomed by a group of UNP ministers at a media briefing convened in Kurunegala this morning.
පාර්ලිමේන්තු හිටපු 33 දෙනෙක්
Even though 33 former parliamentarians wanted Mahinda Rajapaksa to be defeated, they sided with Mahinda Rajapaksa in the last minute because they did not want to get a bad name within the party. But we still lost. After we lost, we thought that this would be the best time to do something about it. When it was getting published in the newspapers and on television, I had already taken a decision to cross over to the United National Party. There was no point staying in the party further if Mahinda is going to come back into power.
Mahinda Rajapaksa මේ රටේ බලයට එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ පක්ෂයේ බලයට එනවා නම් මේක ඉඳලා වැඩක් නැහැ.
With an election around the corner, the matter of crossovers is once again on the tip of every tongue. Let's take a look at what's being said in the political arena.
කුරුණෑගල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ SB නාවින්න මැතිතුමා
SB Navin from the Kurunegala district has come to the UNP. Wait and see. On the day that nominations are handed over, a large group who are in the SLFP will come to the UNP. The treasurer who was saying that Mahinda was breaking the party and that we were breaking the party has gone over. There is some good in this defeat. Mahinda tells us that it is only now that we can identify people. They won't leave the corner where they feed, like fleas on a dog's back. One by one they are coming over. Mahinda Rajapaksa's saloon door is closed. The UNP saloon door is now open. Some will cross over, casting aside their political party. There are those who will leave their political party for other parties to somehow enter parliament since they cannot win from their own parties. The people of this country do not approve of these theatrics. No matter what games the UNP or the SLFP alliance play, they will not be able to win a majority in this parliament.
They
had a great hope that if it is dissolved swiftly, then we would be split and fight amongst ourselves while they feast. This will not happen. I said in public that if Mahinda and Maitri come together, that I will not engage in politics any further. There is time until the 13th of July. The nominations has not been submitted yet. This is because the president has not responded yet.
Addressing an event held in Kolonnawa today, UNP Western Provincial Councillor S.M. Marika said returning defeated leaders to power would be akin to welcoming corruption.
Western Provincial Councillor S.M. Marika made this statement at the opening of an election campaign office in Kolonnawa today.
They say that they are contesting on the request of the public. But who are these people? They are the 5.8 million people who lost. Who are the persons who are a part of the Central Working Committee? They are also amongst those who lost. Can 5.8 million people be greater than 6.2 million? We would like to tell President Maithripala that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is part of the country, but the country is not part of the SLFP. That is why the country should be a bigger priority than the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Mahinda, who lost and was sent home, is like an expired good. You cannot digest food that is expired because you will fall ill. If Mahinda comes back into power, this is exactly what would happen.
And
sorry, packed with power and guaranteed to last for 5 years.
Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Sajith Premdasa says that the people should rally to put an end to the opportunistic politics in the country. The minister made this statement while addressing an event in Lunugambehera today to distribute financial donations.
There are posters which are being put up all around the country saying, "We are ready and we will rise." But we realized recently what they are getting ready to rise up for. The era where polling centers were broken into and ballot boxes were burnt are over. So to those who are getting ready to rise, I would like to say that we are ready too. We are ready to bring the message the entire country sent on the 8th of January that they are against the old and decayed political system.
Minister Sajith Premdasa distributed financial donations to a Sunday school at the Vera Palace Viharia and the Vera Palace Farmers Association in Lunugambehera today.
Speaking at a meeting held in Mattakulya this afternoon, Dr. Harshadi Silva expressed these views on the matter of Mahinda Rajapaksa being granted a nomination.
The people joined President Maithripala Sirisena in order to be rid of Mahinda Rajapaksa, not to bring him back. If this happens, then we too will have to criticize President Maithripala Sirisena.
Leader of the National Unity Front, Asad Sari, says that efforts are being made to prevent him from receiving a nomination to contest from the Kandy district. He made this statement when he called on the chief prelates of the Malwatu and Askeri chapters this morning.
Asad Sari called on Chief Prelate of the Askeri chapter, Most Venerable Galagama Sri Attadisa Thera, and received his blessings.
Venerable Thera, the United National Party is using your name, saying that you told them to allow only 2 Muslims to be inserted onto a list of 15 persons.
Thereafter, Asad Sali called on the Chief Prelate of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Tibbetwavi Sri Sumangala Thera. He later addressed the journalists who were present at the location.
The newest agenda of the United National Party is to reduce the number of Muslim representatives from all districts, including Colombo and Kandy. They say that they need someone who is straightforward to contest in the upcoming election. We will not do anything to break the chief incumbent's faith in us. I wish to state that if we cannot ally with the United National Party, then we will contest as an independent party from the Kandy district.
The accepting of nominations for the 2015 general election will commence tomorrow. The Election Secretariat says the deadline for submitting nominations is the 13th of this month. Meanwhile, several incidents of election violence have been reported from various parts of the country.
A clash broke out between two groups of political supporters in the Pulgahavela town last night. The scuffle was prompted by an argument over an election campaign poster. 2 people were injured in the clash while a 3-wheeler was damaged.
We were putting up posters in Pulgahavela, and as we were moving along, the UMP organizer came here and beats us up. He attacked my 3-wheeler too and threatened us, demanding that we leave before he kills us. They said that we cannot put up posters here and that it is the same for Mahinda or Maitri. They said it is their government and they do what they want. They attacked all 4 of us.
The Election Secretariat has received 40 complaints so far. These include complaints on incidents of election violence and the arbitrary granting of promotions and calling for interviews for jobs in the public sector.
The first Newsfirst U Report Eagle Awards appreciating the service rendered to citizen journalism by Newsfirst U reporters was held in Matara today. Awards were presented to Newsfirst U reporters from the southern province.
The Newsfirst U Report Eagle Award ceremony was held at the Mathura Cooperative Auditorium today. More than 1,000 U reporters graced the awards ceremony. The award ceremony was held under the auspices of representatives of the senior management of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited.
In a country, information is the most important thing. But that information, if it is not facts, if it is not the truth, then that can create a lot of problem. Now, as a media organization, since we believe in the truth, and we can't be everywhere, that is where the extended family, which is all of you, becomes important. So we may be a large organization, but even any large organization also has to depend on all its family members to help us in our mission to bring out the truth, to bring out the facts, to bring out any evil that is happening in society, so that those who can correct it are able to correct it.
We
have a responsibility to build the nation and society. How do we fulfill this responsibility? Politics. What do we mean by fulfilling this responsibility? Fraudsters, drug peddlers, ethanol smugglers, rapists and others who are engaged in acts of social vices are hidden among society. Who can bring them down? We can. At the next parliamentary election, let's bring forth people who can build a nation where human values and a sense of humanity reigns supreme. Do not evade this responsibility.
Upul Mahesh received the award from the Galle district. Lalit Padmasiri and Roshan Rajkar received the awards from the Mathura and Ambatore districts respectively.
අපි ආරාධනා කරන වේදිකාවට රොෂාන් රාජිකට
9 Newsfirst U reporters qualified for the final round from the Galle, Mathura and Hambantota districts for their work in citizen journalism in 2013 and 2014. Upul Mahesh, Mohammad Shizan and Harish Kumar from the Galle district, Lalit Padmasiri, Uday Ranavira and Jayanta Gunawardana from the Mathura district, Roshan Rajkar, W.A. Premasiri and Mohammad Razak from the Hambantota district.
I knew of 8 schools that have been closed down. Unscrupulous activity was taking place in some of the abandoned schools. Who do we tell this to? Such things must be stopped. I highlighted this through Sirasa and News First, and today these schools and community halls are being used for good. I thank Sirasa and News First for this. I call upon everyone to come forward and highlight what they see, the injustices and unfairness, and move forward with our channel. I used a small camera I had on me to record the heroics of 4 soldiers who risked their lives to save 2 young children from the river at the Mahanama bridge in Matara. It would not have gone to any media. It was Sirasa that gave us this right.
As News First continues to uncover the various facets of the drug epidemic that has spread across the country, there has been an increase in the number of raids being carried out and in public awareness.
2 men who were transporting cannabis and heroin to Akkarepattu and Kalmune were arrested in Pothuwil today. The police have seized about 8 kilograms of marijuana and a lorry that was being used to transport the drugs. Meanwhile, in another raid conducted in Bandaravilla, police seized 34 packets of marijuana. 3 men who had the drugs in their possession were taken into custody. In yet another raid on 2nd Kora Street in Peta, Colombo, the police seized a stash of heroin and arrested 1 man. 8 grams of heroin was seized in another raid carried out in Gonahena, Kadawata, and interrogation of the suspect led to the arrest of another man in Paliaguda. The police also seized 11 grams of heroin. Another man in possession of heroin was arrested during a raid carried out in Ratmalana. It must be noted that all of these suspects were carrying only small amounts of heroin. A recent News First investigation uncovered the reason for this. The drug peddlers keep just enough heroin as a strategy to ensure that they will not be denied bail in the event they are arrested. News First also revealed that narcotic drugs are entering the country through the coast.
There are a number of dealers in Negombo. It is very easy to transport drugs brought from abroad on the boat. Drug trafficking is high in the area. The police only demand money but do not arrest the dealers.
People residing along the coast of the island are now rallying against the illegal drug raid. Residents of the Munnakkaraya Fisheries village in Negombo staged a demonstration today. It is quite significant that the drugs are increased in the coastal areas. It has also spread in schools and among children. Especially we thank the Sirasa media for organizing awareness programs and saving our children from the drug menace.
The National Anti-Drug Drive Door-to-Door Awareness Campaign by News First Sirasa and Shakti, which is aimed at rallying the people to create a drug-free nation, got underway in several areas of the southern province today. This initiative is being carried out in collaboration with the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board and the Sri Lanka Police.
The program, which is organized under the theme Drugs Have No Place in Me, My Home and My Country, was held across 3 districts of the southern province. One phase of the program was held in the Mirissa and Kamrugamo areas of the Mathura district today.
I'm speaking to you from the Malgampura Sunday School, which is situated in Seni Modara in the town of Tangol. We commenced day 2 of the second stage of the National Anti-Drug Drive, which is an initiative organized by News First, Sirasa and Shakti, together with the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board. Now, these kids you see with me are the future of our generation. And what do drugs do? Drugs destroy the youth, they destroy family, and that leads to a destroyed nation. Would you like to see the lives of these kids being destroyed, their future going astray? That is what our message is from this campaign.
Members of the News First staff, with the assistance of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board and the police, went from door to door creating awareness among the people on the effects of drug abuse.
People lose what is important in life because of substance abuse. Creating awareness and spreading the message is the best way to change society as well as a person's life.
Another phase of the National Anti-Drug Drive program was held in the Kalegana and Dadal areas of Galle today. A group of officials of the News First staff and the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board and the police were present for the program. A special feature of the door-to-door program held in Galle was where our team met this youth. Our efforts to convince this youth, who is a victim of heroin addiction, were successful as he took the decision to let go of the addiction. With the intervention of officials of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, the youth was given the necessary guidance for rehabilitation. This was a testament to the success of the program.
මේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක මේ ඉතාමත් වටින ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක.
ඇත්තටම හොඳයි මේ සිරසෙන් කරන මේ වැඩසටහන.
The National Anti-Drug Drive door-to-door awareness campaign was also held in the Tangol and Ambalanthota areas of the Hambantota district.
It is not only adults who have succumbed to this drug menace. Substance abuse among the adults also have a negative effect on children.
During the door-to-door campaign, our team was able to meet with substance abusers and even those who had previously been involved in drug peddling. Many were highly appreciative of this program being carried out by Newsfirst, Sirasa and Shakti, together with the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board and Sri Lanka Police.
This institution is doing a great service. I pray and hope that you will find the strength to put a stop to the use of drugs and alcohol.
The National Anti-Drug Drive door-to-door awareness campaign, which concluded its journey in the southern part of the country, will recommence in the central province next week.
A drug-free nation leads to a drug-free parliament. Think before you vote.
And taking a look at another one of our headline-making stories, a contractor has taken preliminary steps to initiate legal action over the alleged failure to make payments for the construction of a mansion for former Minister Basil Rajapaksa. A letter of demand has been addressed to the individual who was in charge of the project via a lawyer.
The mansion in question has been built over several acres at Riverside Villa in Malvana. A chartered architect had been in charge of the project. The letter of demand notes that former Minister Basil Rajapaksa had participated at the occasion of the laying of the foundation stone for the mansion. The contractor's lawyers point out that subsequently Rajapaksa's wife and daughter too had come to the premises on several occasions and instructed that changes be made. However, the chartered architect who was in charge of the project had not informed the contractor for whom the mansion was being built.
He hid information on the owner from me. In addition, this was done without an estimate or contract agreement. I finished the work and submitted a bill, but they forced us to bring a letterhead, put down their amount and forced us to sign it. They did that and said it was all over. He personally told me not to cause trouble or else.
When the final bill for 103,496,140 rupees was presented at the completion of the construction, the individual in charge of the project had allegedly used threats and political power to demand that the amount be reduced to 70 million. Through the letter of demand, the contractor is seeking damages of 20 million rupees from the chartered architect for the use of political force and the loss of more than 31.6 million rupees.
After 7 months of investigation into a murder in Madapatha, Piliyandala, police were able to uncover information that came to light in a confession made by 2 suspects in custody.
Police visited a marshland in Madapatha last night following a tip-off that the remains of a body of an individual who was murdered was hidden in the area. However, the police were only able to discover the remains in a marshland located in the Iravatta area in Kapola, Piliyandala this morning. The skull of the victim was found 100 meters away from the marshland. The victim was identified as a 20-year-old youth and a resident of Tissamarama. It has been reported that the victim was residing in Madapatha Viharya, where his brother was a monk.
The police came and told me that they have found out such information. He had no problem with anyone, and I have never heard any negative information on him.
Investigations have revealed that the victim was on his way to work when another youth on a motorbike had abducted him, assaulted him and murdered him before hiding the body in a paddy field. The police have arrested a work colleague of the victim along with another individual. He came because he told us that he can't see his parents suffer. He was confirmed in 6 months and my son told me that they have given him a promotion. Then too, I warned my son to be careful when going to work, but he told me that his friends are very fond of him. I pray that no mother or father suffers such a trauma.
Sri Lanka extended their lead over Pakistan to 91 runs on day 3 of the third test in Pallekele today. At stumps, Sri Lanka were on 228 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. And that's a wrap of Primetime News. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. Don't forget to tune in to Newsline at 7 a.m. tomorrow on MTV, where we will be taking a look at the daily headlines with comprehensive analysis and context on what you need to know. Take care and good night.